The concerning budget cuts for Medicaid and its impact on rural hospitals and their communities is certainly a hot topic, an important topic in our industry right now. And as a strategist, trainer, and coach to small and rural hospitals for years now, and having experience for 20 plus years as an executive in a small and rural hospital, and now 14 years serving dozens of small and rural hospitals to improve and grow. I've had experience with strategy development and deployment for more than 3 decades, specific to the area of small and rural hospitals. So I'm here to offer up a perspective that maybe you haven't considered yet as your organization is considering how to navigate these challenging times. So let's start with a real business basic that when we need to improve the bottom line and secure the future of our organization's mission, there's really a simple formula: increase revenues, decrease expenses, or both. And I'm hearing right now from people out there in the industry, CFOs, CEOs, that they're right now in that mode of decreasing expenses, right? 5% budget cuts across the board as an immediate initial response to this news. But to be honest, there's not much to work with here, is there, folks, right? We've been cutting costs, doing more with less year after year for decades now. And the impact of that truly has been and will be, if that's the approach we take, will continue to decline the people, service, and quality pillars of our core business, our core mission, our core service to our communities, which is the healthcare services we provide on an in and outpatient basis to our community. So then the other pathway we go down is increasing revenues. And boy, I'm hearing that out there too, related to adding new services. So that's another approach: decrease expenses, add new services. I've done it. I've enjoyed the process of doing it. I've felt rewarded in the process of doing it as an executive in a healthcare organization, but I know the impact of it, especially during those early years of standing up a new service line. It can be a time and money suck, and again, that has and can have a negative impact on your core existing services and the people service quality of your core existing services, because you got your eye on that new shiny thing, and we're taking our eye and our resources and energy off our current existing core services. And to be quite frank, many healthcare organizations, and I have assessed dozens of them in quite detail, their results, their trends of results. And to be quite frank, many of the healthcare organizations that I've assessed, at best, their core services are performing at an average level. The results in the people pillar are at the average level. The results in the service pillar are at the average level. And the results in quality are at the average level. And these are our core services that we offer to our community. And now we're going to add shiny new services. And how we do one thing is how we do everything. So likely those shiny new services will find themselves in a similar place of being just average. So, what is an organization to do, right? If decreasing expenses isn't the answer, if adding new services isn't the answer, what is the answer? Well, this is what I'd like to suggest. And it's not just an idea, it's one that our company, Capstone Leadership Solutions, has tested with dozens of small and rural healthcare organizations over the last almost 14 years. And when they've implemented this strategy, the results across all their service lines have improved, and the volumes and revenue and market share in those services have improved as well. And what that strategy is investing in turning your current existing services into greatness so they become extremely attractive to your primary and secondary market, and stop the out migration of your community members that are taking their healthcare insurance cards elsewhere. We know that it isn't the Medicaid patients that are out migrating. It is those that are carrying the insurance cards that reimburse us better. So we have to stop that out migration for our core existing service lines: imaging, laboratory, cardiopulmonary, emergency department, inpatient, swing bed. Our core services need to be strong. They need to be a magnet for patients and also a magnet for the talent. And guess what, folks? We've got capacity there, most likely. In all those service lines, we have existing capacity there that we can capitalize on. So the core strategy is to elevate the people, service, and quality pillars of your core existing service so you can leverage them for stopping that out migration from your primary and secondary market. And then what we've experienced happens after that is two things. One, you can start pulling market share from even your tertiary market share areas. You can pull patients from the big cities into your small hospitals because of how great you are. Surgeons and specialists will want to come and they'll want to bring your patients there. We've seen this happen. So, an example would be a hospital in rural Wisconsin in which they doubled their revenues with no price increases in 4 years using this approach. And then in the next 4 years, they doubled it again. And that early doubling of revenues was truly related to stopping that out migration and becoming a magnet and the preferred choice for your community in the primary and secondary markets for your existing services. And then we can get into expanding our services, adding new services because we have core strength and we can build new services that just aren't average. We can build them quicker and easier because of our strengths. My own hospital, my own community hospital, where we first started using this strategy, in the beginning, 75% of our own employees wouldn't use the services of the hospital that they work for themselves or their family members. They were driving 90 miles down the road to take their Blue Cross insurance card from their employer, which was their local community hospital, and using it down the road for themselves and their families to receive care. Obviously, we had to turn that around. And if our employees were doing it, imagine that our community was too. And definitely we had the data that said they were. So our community hospital's entire increase was leveraged on this formula of elevating the people, service, and quality pillars of our existing core services and adding volume and revenues by stopping that out migration. So, my strategy advice for you to consider here today is reconsider the decreasing expenses across the board. I mean, I guess if you've got some opportunities that exist there that is not going to decline the people, service, and quality pillars of your existing services, my goodness, you should have been doing that all along as good fiscal stewards, right? But I bet you don't have it there. Don't be looking for those shiny new service lines that maybe your community doesn't need, right? So check your rationale for adding any new service lines during this time. Is it based solely on a possible answer to your financial challenges? Or are you truly motivated by a high priority community need for that service? It's probably the former, not the latter. And don't just add those additional services, the cost of stressing your existing services that are core services that your community needs. So you can use this next year or two to launch new services and to slash expenses, or you can use the next year or two to optimize what you already have to capitalize on your existing services and capacity within them and focus on improving and growing what you already have. And this will help to stop the out migration from your primary and secondary service markets and eventually bring in providers and patients from those tertiary markets and be the foundational platform you need for adding those new services eventually in the years to come. Being the preferred provider and employer is a great strategy because greatness is attractive. People will choose your organization over others, recommend it to others, and talk positively about it in the community. That's what you want to create. And that level of greatness is also an expediter in the future for growth, good growth, fast growth, easier and speed of growth. So, as your organization is crafting its strategic approach, I hope you'll consider this option. And if you'd like to learn more, you can contact me at info@capstoneleadership.net or go to our website, capstoneleadership.net, and reach out on the Contact Us form. I'd be glad to talk to you further about this strategy at a deeper and more specific level as it applies to your organization.